In our last episode, we talked about the truth about social media and how social media can be leveraged to build and scale your business. Well, this week, I wanted to talk to someone who has leveraged social media tremendously in order to grow and scale his brand and his business. This week, I'm talking to Wade the Barber, master barber, celebrity barber, and Instagram phenomenon. Don't miss this interview because he is going to give us some insight and really help those of you who might be barbers listening to the Markeith Braden podcast to really think about how you can use social media to scale and grow your business. You don't want to miss this.
You're listening to the Markeith Braden Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping emerging entrepreneurs create a profitable life and business they love. And now your host, professional keynote speaker, digital marketing strategist, and master lifestyle coach, Markeith Braden.
Wade Menendez, thank you for joining me for another episode of the Markeith Braden podcast. I'm excited that you have decided to take some time out of your vacation to talk to me today. But before we get started, I want to share a little bit of your bio that's sitting right in front of me, and that is Wade Menendez, known around the world as Wade the Barber, is a master barber who has been in the barber field for over 13 years. With an impressive celebrity clientele, Wade is notoriously known for his impressive cuts that exemplify his distinct attention to detail to help his clients achieve their desired look. Wade received his license in 2004 from Avery's Academy of Hair Design in Baltimore, Maryland. What started off as a hobby for him at age 12 grew to be his career that has landed him the opportunity to travel all over the world doing what he loves. Wade, man, thank you for joining. Welcome to the Markeith Braden podcast.
Hey, man, my pleasure, man. My pleasure to be here, man. Definitely.
I appreciate it. So, Wade, I just gave a little brief of your bio, but tell us a little bit more about yourself and maybe a few things that we may not know that's not in your bio.
Oh man, well, yeah, I'm Wade the Barber. I've been in the barber industry for over 13 years. I started cutting my hair since I was 12, so that's about 23 years ago over. And so just been doing this thing for a minute. Doing the hair units. They call them the man weaves now. So that I've been doing that for about 4 years, man. It's been a blessing. It's changed my life. I'm able to help change other people's lives. People have been coming from all over the world to come get that stuff done. Teaching classes, own 2 businesses, have a nonprofit organization as well that I've been doing for the last 2 years. Have a 501c3, man. It's been good. We just been trying to help people, man. So, that's about it, man. I mean, a lot of people don't know I'm also a musician too. I do music. I'm real heavy in the church and all that good stuff. So, that's another thing that maybe people don't know, but yeah.
Gotcha. So, after the age 12 and your interest in, doing the hobby of being a barber, what really was more of the inspiration as you got older to just decide, hey, being a barber was what I'm going to do, and transitioning that into what I consider to be, a major brand?
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing. But so I think barbering kind of runs in my family. My dad, he used to cut. My uncle used to cut. My grandfather, my great grandfather had a barbershop, so it kind of running in blood. And man, I did college for a little bit, and I was trying to juggle that, work a full-time job. I did retail. I helped my dad paint apartments. I did maintenance. I was a painter, like I said. I was a paper boy. I did a lot of different things, but when it came down to it, barbering was the only thing that I was passionate about. I was, always making sure my hair was fresh, and then people would see my hair and was like, "Yo, like, who cut you?" And I was like, "I did it," you know what I'm saying? So start doing my friends and people like that. Some people at the church. So yeah, man, I think it was just a passion of mine, and I just kind of from age of 12 until probably about 19. 19 and 20, I just kind of, was skating with it. It was trying to figure my way through it. Cause you know what I'm saying? I guess at the time it wasn't a popular thing to just be a barber. So I always, my parents always held us to high standards. So, they want us to finish college and do all the normal stuff that, parents want your kids to do. And it didn't really work out for me. So I got done with all of that, and I went to barber school and was like, listen, this is the only thing that I'm passionate about. And it went from there. Once I got in barber school, I met Little Mo. She, the R&B singer. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's an R&B singer. And from that, in barber school, I started cutting her hair when she had a short haircut, and then I started cutting her husband at the time, and staff, dancers, and we started traveling around. And she kind of taught me like little branding stuff, like how to brand myself, and like I was passing out flyers after their shows and different stuff like that, man. And like it just started going to the next level, and the rest is history.
So kind of early on, you already were introduced to doing artists, celebrity type
It was
clientele.
Yeah, it was almost like God was like, listen, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You try other things, and this is your calling. This is the path that I have for you. And I don't know, man. It was divine. It was destiny. I feel like,
Yeah, good stuff. So when did you make that decision though to switch from barber to entrepreneur? Because I know a lot of barbers who, they just cut hair. They just stand behind the chair and they cut hair all day, and they make their money and they kind of go on their way. When did you make that decision? Hey,
well, yeah. I feel you. My thing is I didn't really. It was probably about 6 years into me cutting. I was like, it's time to step out to the next level and go to the next level. I think kind of entrepreneurship kind of running my family too. Like my dad, my parents are pastors, but then like my mom, she was an executive with AT&T. Then she started her own nonprofit, and she started her own business. She had a driving school. My dad had his own painting and maintenance company. My family members would have business and stuff like that. So I was always taught to don't just settle for just working for somebody. Everybody's not meant to work to be a boss. Somebody gotta serve too. But if you feel the need or the call to go to that next level, don't stay stagnant. Always progress. And I think any barber, which is why we have so many barbershops. A lot of people, their dream is to have their own barbershop. Once they become a barber for a while, they're good at it. They want to have their own barbershop. So it's kind of like a normal level of progression. I stepped out on faith, and I got denied first with getting the shop. Because at the time I was working, the level, how I went was I was at a barbershop, then I went and got a salon suite, which was just me in there for 2 years. And then it was like, all right, so I need to get out of this suite. It's just a small room. I need to get a shop. And I got denied, and because I didn't have enough credit and different things in place to get the loan that I needed, because I hadn't saved up enough to get it done. And then it was like God sent two of my clients, man. It was crazy. I tell this story all the time. It was like angels or something. Like they was like, hey, listen, what is it gonna take for you to get out this room? We need you to get a whole shop, bro. We big dudes in this small room, bro. Like, how you gonna what you gonna do? And I was like, listen, I need a certain amount of money. And 2 weeks later, they gave me a check for that amount of money, man. Like, and I put them on a payment. Well, they put me on a payment plan to pay them back, and I was supposed to cut their hair for free for a certain amount of time. And I gave them checks, and they wouldn't cash them. And to this day, I still don't cut their hair. I don't cut their hair anymore. So it's like almost like God had them come as angels to help me, and they vanished in a sense. Like, so every now and then I reach out to them and just check on them just to see how they're doing and just make sure everything is everything. Yeah, man, it's like that's how that happened for me.
Right. Now you mentioned that passion was very instrumental in your progress as a barber turned entrepreneur turned, IG phenomenon. How important do you really think passion is for any entrepreneur? Or, do
Um,
you believe that you have to be passionate about what you do in order to be successful?
yeah, most definitely. You have to definitely have a passion. If you don't have a passion for anything, or you don't really like to do something, it's not something you enjoy doing. I don't think you're gonna be that good at it. It's gonna be something you just do, and it's just gonna you're not gonna succeed or get to the level of greatness that you want to get to if it's not something that comes from within. You know what I mean? So I tell all entrepreneurs, make sure that you kind of follow your passion, but make sure there's a need for what it is that you're passionate about as well. When you are fulfilling a need, you'll always do well. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a need for whatever it is that you love to do, you know what I mean, you'll do well. Like that need and coupled with your passion, you gonna kill it. Most definitely. You know what I mean?
Right. So that key right there, the need. I've been reading the past couple of days about kind of how to expand my own business more, and it always starts with this idea of the pain point or the need.
Hmm.
And one of the things that has recently hit the market, of course, are these hair units for men.
Hmm.
And several people that I've seen online via IG, Facebook, what have you, have taken advantage of this opportunity. I don't know if it's a trend, if it's a fad, but yet it is serving a need. So
Yeah.
what made you start to kind of leverage that particular pain point per se into what has become seemingly a lucrative business for you?
Well, I mean, I honestly, it wasn't like I sat around and was like, oh, let's do this. Like, what happened was there was a young lady in my salon. She was a natural hairstylist. Shout out to Brittany. And she she was adding hair to dreads or whatever, right? And so I didn't even know that they even sold like Afro hair. You know what I mean? Like I just always used to see like the Remy and the long weaves that girls wear and stuff like that or whatever. So I didn't even know there was such things like that, like coarse hair that they can sell. And so she was like, yeah, 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 get it from the store, whatever. Um, and I was like, man, there gotta be a way to, because she was adding dreads, she was adding hair to the dreads. Like people were coming in and losing their dreads and be thinning, and she would fill it up. She was like, do her thing, and they head full. You know what I mean? It's not thinning anymore. And so I was like, man, how do you do that? Like, you know what I mean? There gotta be a way we could do that for guys. And then we just kind of put our heads together and I did like a sew in on a dude, and we went from there. And I just started learning different techniques from there and practicing and trial and error, man. And it was like, man, because I do know that there was a need for it. Um, I have a lot of clients that bald and thinning, and then got a lot of guys are self-conscious of that. And that's, at the time we was using so much Beijing and all the fibers and all that stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? So this is like a remedy for that, because that stuff washes right off. You know what I'm saying? You put some water in your hair, it's a wrap. Keep pillows and that stuff all the time. They get tired of that, you know what I mean? So that's where I came in, and we fulfilled the need, I feel like, you know what I mean? And I never thought it would blow up how it has, with guys coming from all over the world to come get it. But yeah, man, that's how it happened.
Yeah, when I started to kind of lose mine, I just decided that, hey, I'm just cutting it off.
Yeah.
I wasn't that tight that was just gonna try to hold on.
Hey,
And
but
a
that's the
few,
thing. That's the thing. It ain't for everybody, and I think that's the thing. Like everybody be like, "Oh, you just need to cut it off, bald, go bald." I mean, some
right.
people ain't ready to go bald. There's some people that look good with a bald head, but there's some, and I think I'm probably one. If I go bald, I don't know if it's gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everybody was asking if I got one too, but I
Yeah,
don't.
I used to think, I was like, well, I wonder if he got a hair unit too, because he got a head full of hair, and it's black and always cut right. I'm like, he must got a hair unit too.
I don't have one, but if I needed to, I definitely would do it. I mean, I thought about doing a frontal because my forehead is very big. It's been like this since I was a kid, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still praying about that. whole time.
Cool. So, let's talk a little bit about, you creating a brand.
Mhm.
I came across your Instagram page and started kind of looking at some of these hair units that you were doing, and I was showing my mom and showing friends. I was like, yeah, y'all check out this, this guy Wade the Barber's IG, because I'm like, these hair units are looking almost real, and who knew that was what Steve Harvey was using, and
Mhm.
several other celebrities, and so what made that shift to start really establishing, a brand via social media and, really starting to share what I would say, your personal brand, your life pretty much.
Well, I mean, I was doing social media. I already had 20,000 followers before I even started posting the unit stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think because I was already, I stick very much by that you need to brand yourself. You need to be a brand. So I'd already kind of, got into the whole celebrity field, cutting to different celebrities, working for BET, cut for BET award stuff. Like a lot of shows on BET I've cut for the BT Honors, a lot of the gospel stuff. Um, man. So I mean, I think that that's where the brand started, and then it kind of went to the next level with the unit stuff. Social media, you know what I mean, has really because I believe social media. You post one picture, it can go somewhere. It could go where you can't go. I can post
Right.
a picture and somebody in Turkey see it. You know what I'm saying in 5 minutes. And so it's just it's definitely important. A lot of guys are starting to get into it more now too because they understand the importance of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, some people would be like, "No, I'm not. I ain't with that taking pictures." But I had to quickly learn. Like, even when I first started and I cut a few celebrities and stuff like that, people were like, "Why you didn't take a picture with them?" I kind of was like, "Nah, I wasn't pressed to do that. I wasn't like, it ain't gotta. I know I cut them, But now these days, you have to show other people because it's like
Social proof.
that's your brand at that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's about who you know, what you've done, and then it's like now by doing that, like sometimes I don't like the post, but I have to. It's a thing that I have to do now. But you touch so many lives, man. It's like so many people that look up to you. I have so many people that hit me all the time, man. You motivating me, you inspiring me, and that's just from my posts. You know what I mean? From them seeing what I'm doing and how I move and stuff like that or whatever. So just becoming a brand, man, is very important for what you're trying to do. You have to figure out what audience and who you're trying to target and who you're trying to market to. Figure that out. Figure out, pretty much what they like, and you go from there. You know what I mean? That's becoming the brand. You know.
That's good that you talk about that. I was meeting with a couple of my mentor coaches in business, and one of the things that I realized that I made the greatest mistake on when it comes to my brand is really drilling down to that target audience. Like, who am I really talking to? Who is my customer avatar? And when it comes to building your brand or being a barber, what advice would you give those who are coming up the ranks on, how do they really kind of hone in on identifying who their true customer avatar is?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's just really figuring out what is it that you want to get out of your business. Is it do you want do you want the average guy, you want the businessman, you want the entertainers, you want the celebrities, you want the ball players, you want depends on you just got to figure out what is it where is it that you're trying to be. I know with me, man, I just want to be the best that I can be in any area of my life. Whatever I put my hand to do, I just want to be one of the best to do it. And so with that, I like to appeal to everybody, but I understand that I'm not for everybody. I understand that everybody won't like me, everybody won't come to me. You know what I mean? So I figure, what is it that who is it that I appeal the most to, and who is it that I'm trying to track? And I try to just stick with that. You know what I mean? Even with the hashtags you use, even um, yeah, it's just like when you put certain things out there, what you're deserving come back to you. You know what I mean? So if you put out, even as far as your pitches, like try to put out quality, good pictures, clear pictures using. If you're gonna use your camera phone, make sure that it's clear, not your lens, because sometimes we be taking pictures and the lens all got fingerprints and dirty and all that stuff or whatever. A lot of guys a lot of barbers are getting into using the real cameras, actually, using real cameras when you're taking
Digital
your pictures and
cameras.
stuff. Yeah. And so those are key. Getting a real lens, a professional lens. If you got an iPhone, use the portrait mode when you're taking the pictures. Different stuff like that, man. And having a website, whatever making it legit. Like, so when I got out of barber school, I probably was one of the first barbers that I knew of in my area that had a website. It makes you more legit. It makes you more like, oh, this dude, he's serious. You know what I mean? Like, taking your business, branding yourself, doing flyers and cards, and just kind of sticking. When people come to your page, it's like consistency there. So all those things are important. You know what I mean? Maybe get with a marketing person and ask them to help you, like a graphic design artist as well. Yeah. So
Cool.
certain things like that.
Well, I'm glad you brought up, website and marketing. And so we'll talk about that right after this commercial break. We're talking with Wade the Barber, the
Sir.
Instagram phenomenon, the hair unit master coach. We'll be right back after this commercial break. At the end of the day, we all want to live successful and impactful lives. We all have dreams and aspirations that we truly want to achieve, but sometimes it's hard to get it done and to achieve those dreams and visions by ourselves. Sometimes you need to hire a coach or have a mentor. That's why I created the Inspire and Elevate strategy session. These strategy sessions allow you an opportunity to pull on my own personal expertise of being an individual who went from a 9-to-5 and started his own successful speaking and coaching business. If you have a desire to move to your next level, if you have a desire to take some steps toward creating the lifestyle that you've always wanted, book your strategy session today. Go to markeithbraden.com, click on the Work With Me tab, and listen to the video and look at the testimonials of the individuals that I've helped along the way. Your time is now. Your time is right now. Let's move you to your next level. Let's achieve the dreams and goals that you have by you booking your Inspire and Elevate strategy session. I know this is your opportunity. Now let's just move on it. All right, welcome back. We are talking to Wade the Barber. In the first half, you may have heard a little bit of crackling noise. We do apologize about that, but we kind of fixed that, and so hopefully the second half, the audio will be much better. But anyhow, the information is great, and so hopefully you can ignore some of that background noise and just grab the information. But before we left, Wade was talking about branding yourself and having a website and having a marketing person that kind of help you out to brand yourself. And so, Wade, I want to talk a little bit more about why was it important for you to really get that website up as a barber? Today you may find more barbers with websites, but why is it important just to have a landing page or a website that kind of gives people information about you?
Well, I mean, it eliminates a lot of people from having to call you all the time, especially if they're gonna read. Now some people still don't read. They listen. You got everything right there for them, and they still decide they want to call you because some people just that's the way they communicate. But it does help with that. Also, my website, you can set an appointment. So instead of hitting my phone or trying to make an appointment with me in person, you can just go on the website at any time and make your appointment. Now whether it's booked up or not, that's the story, but you can still make the appointment. You know what I mean? So that's why you need to have a website. It's just professional, man. You can block out the days ahead of time that you don't want to work, different things like that. Now I'm talking about just with barbering, but if you have a website, it's just whatever you do. It's not just about barbering, but whatever you do, it is good to have that, so you can just tell people what you're about. They can see your pictures, and they can see what you got going on via your website. You know what I mean? And your social media, like make sure that you have the Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatever, all the social media outlets, because these days, man, a lot of people are on their phones at all times. Nobody's really reading newspapers, or they're not reading magazines like that and stuff like that. They have digital magazines, they have Instagram, they have Facebook and websites and different things like that. Everybody's social media that's the wave right now, for this generation. Even the older people, like my mom, like she's 60, almost 70 years old. She be on Facebook all the time. She texting and sending messages and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, you just have to make sure that you're meeting people where they are, and not keeping yourself in a box, because a lot of us do stick, just because it's foreign to us. A lot of the times we try to shy away from it, but you have to step out of the box sometimes, and make sure that you're staying current to what's new.
So I'm a barber, wanting to maybe dip my foot into entrepreneurship, wanting to, really expand my reach, but I don't know how to do none of that stuff. What should I do?
Well, if you're a barber and you don't know how to do that, I'm sure there's somebody that is in your reach that you can go to and ask, "Hey, man, how did you do this? How did you do that?" You know what I mean? Now, if you're a barber, first of all, let's make sure before you trying to start a shop and open a shop, make sure you got your license. That's one of the a lot of these brothers out here, man. I know some. I'm staying on a few friends that I have right now. They went to barber school, still ain't got a license. I don't understand that. But anyway, I know some people have test anxiety and all that stuff, but get your license, man. Be legit out here. Don't be out here having to look over your shoulder at the state board trying to come in there and shut you and the owner down. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you are legit in whatever you're doing, that you're able to, be confident that you're good. You know what I mean? So let's start there. And then if you're trying to, as far as entrepreneurship and open your own shop, make sure that you're compliant with the state and what they require for whatever it is that you're trying to do with your shop. Make sure you get your proper license in, and all that things. Like I got with a lawyer, made sure that I was good with that. Make sure that my employees had manuals and handbooks, and you just not coming in here and just working. You got to read the rules first, and then we can get you a chair and all that or whatever. You know what I mean? So those are different things. Making sure that location is good. Making sure you have parking. If you're in a place that requires parking, now some city spots, if you're in a major city like DC or New York, a lot of times you're not gonna get no parking, because most people in those type of cities don't drive. They always catching public transportation or Uber and something like that. So it works out for you. It's cool. But if you're in a city that's not like that, make sure you have parking. Let's see, what else? What else, man? So much stuff I wasn't prepared for, the whole checklist. But yeah, I mean, those are different things that you make sure you have the website, the social media, like I just was talking about, and branding it, and just getting a logo, get a shop logo. Get a logo for yourself. You know what I mean? Make sure that your stuff is not too busy, that people can see what it is, see what you're trying to present, and it's not all busy in the place. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it.
Cool. So, one of the things that I know many entrepreneurs struggle with, especially me, even when I first got started, is charging what you're worth.
Yep.
How you make that shift from
so
charging what you're worth? Go on. I know you want to talk about it.
Nah, man, I still struggle with that a little myself. Now, at this point, it's just kind of like it is what it is. Either you like it or you don't. It's not for you. I'm okay. You know, you can go to one of my other guys, and which I lost a lot of regular haircuts. So I don't do. All right, so I only do haircuts on Fridays and part of Saturdays. Most of the other part of my week is dedicated to units. So Monday through Thursday, and then half day on Saturday, I'm doing units all day. So now at the point, I got to the point where it didn't make sense for me to do haircuts that much anymore. So I went from $35 a cut to 60. You know what I mean? And so I had
Just
to
a
raise
regular
it.
haircut?
Yeah.
With an appointment?
I don't care. I only do appointments. So
Okay.
yeah. So it's $60. In a regular or fade, is you're paying for my time. And so some guys are like, that's crazy. But most of my clients that I already was cutting anyway. Most of them still with it. They understand. You know, and a
So
lot of
what did
times, and people
how
rock
did
with
it
you.
take? What did it take though? I mean,
It took it
maybe
took
it has something to
it
do
took.
with the
All
area
right.
that you're in, but what did it take
Well.
to shift from, because in Nashville, I would make an appointment and the most it was going to cost me was 25. So
Woo.
what does it take mentally to go from 25 to 60?
All right. So a lot of times when you say what you're worth, now if you're getting a quality cut every time, that's one thing. But also when you're dealing with a barber that is a celebrity barber that works with celebrities and does shows, different things like that, like I think it made it easier for me to kind of to raise the prices, and it's like my clients understood, you know what I mean? Because at that point your value kind of went up in a sense, you know what I mean? So it's like, listen, we want you to be here and cut our hair as opposed to going and always traveling, or
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, so you get more money on the road. So it's almost like looking out for your barber, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you max out because you only can cut a certain amount of hairs a day, and then you max out as far as what you max out with what you can what you can bring home a day. You know what I mean? This is the way I look at it, and I try to tell people, not just because like if you got a good solid barber, I feel like you should look out for them and whatever they charge. Try to now some of this if it's ridiculous, then I got to work that out. I mean I don't know, but I intentionally raise mine so I can drop some clients that really didn't really work all the way. They still rock with me, and I love them for that. They loyal, and I fool with them. You know what I mean? But so this is the thing. You also have to realize that barber. Now I'm talking about good barbers, not unreliable shiesty barbers. That barber, he's there for your appointments. Like anytime you need him, they're there. We are having back problems. We got health insurance to take care of. You got kids to take care of. You got you got family, or you know what I'm saying. They got to live. You know what I mean. So with that being said, a lot of our time has been dedicated to being in the shop. Some of us don't have lives. I don't know. For me, I was spending my life. I had many relationships that failed because I didn't have that much. I could give the time that needed to cultivate that relationship, right? Because I was working, and I'm the type that I'm scared. Like I'm scared of being broke, so I love my money. So that's what I mean. But I'm learning now that I have to make more time for things that are important. But anyway, that's another story. So listen, we're sacrificing a lot of time and a lot of our lives to be there for you and your haircut. A lot of people feel like we robots and like we you know what I'm saying, like our life revolves around you, but we're not getting compensated for that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There'd be dudes that will ask me to come in the shop for on a day that I'm off, and you know what I'm saying, come in late and still don't get no tip. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now, man, I was like, yo, I gotta charge for it, man. Like I gotta make it worth my while. You know what I mean? And it's like if people they don't like it, then maybe I'm not the dude for you. Maybe you need to go somewhere else. But also, I think some barbers they get money hungry and they try to um, raise prices prematurely. You only been cutting a couple years and you already at $60, $50. You know what I mean? I'm just like, put your time in first. You know what I mean? Build up your name, your reputation, your brand, and then you can kind of certain things you can kind of just it makes sense that you charging that. I started at $15, $20 a haircut, and then I jumped to 22, and then I jumped to 30. You know what I'm saying? It was like a easier transition. I did hop easier like this last go round when I raised my prices, but it was either like the units, y'all gonna have me, I'm just not gonna cut your hair no more, or you gonna have to pay the price now. You know what I mean? So, because it makes sense to just do units at this point. You getting $200 to $650 a head as opposed and that $30 haircut. Just don't
So
make
the
sense.
whole idea of building the brand is what makes the difference. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, you know,
Yep.
there's a
Build a
difference
brand,
between
and
a branded barber or branded, chef or branded beautician or branded nail technologist or what have you, than somebody who just does the job.
yep. And it's about the demand too. If you
Right.
a barber that's that stay booked all the time, you'll be okay. Because there's
Okay.
gonna be people that will pay it.
Cool. So
Mm-hmm.
what is life like now? Just watching from afar via social media, noticing that you're traveling, and it's during the week, right? And
Yeah.
you're not missing out. I don't think on any money, right? How do I
Well, I'm not saying
become? How
I'm
does
missing
that
out on no
person?
money.
How does that person who's listening say, man, I'm behind this chair every day, and here he is, posting that he's in Dubai and
Yeah.
all
I'm
these
in
other
Barcelona. I'm in Barcelona right now as we have this
Barcelona,
conversation
right?
right now. But listen, so this is the thing. This is something that my parents taught me, and I'm so grateful because my grandfather taught my mother this, and she taught us this. All right, if you get $1, and this is a problem that barbers and stylists have because we get cash in our hand every day, but we spend it a lot of times just as fast as we get it. All right,
Hmm.
you get $1, you put away 50 cents. If you cannot put away 50 cents, you put away a quarter. I live by that. Okay, so whatever I get, I'm putting it up. I'm putting it away. Whether it's saving and put it in something that you ain't gonna touch like that, and let it get some interest. I also do mutual funds and stocks and all that stuff. And a lot of us, we don't think like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I always did think as far as the mutual funds and all that stuff. But I looked at myself and I'm like, man, I got all this money sitting in an account and it's not gaining any interest or anything.
But
Uh,
wait, I'm not charging $60 a haircut. I'm still
it's not
charging
about charging.
15.
It's
I'm
not
still
about charging.
charging 20.
Well, first of all, you just charging 15, 20. You need to up that to at least 30. Okay. All right. Because that's standard price at this point in the game. So you shorten yourself. You get to where the standard is, and then you can work that. But my thing is, maybe then you need to downsize on what you're doing as far as your living expenses or whatever until you're able to save. A lot of us want to floss. We want cars, we want houses, stuff like that, and we don't got no money in the bank. And so, like I've just built a house, you know what I mean? But I didn't go to that point because I was renting an apartment for a while. I had a house back when I was 25. I sold it before I got married, and that didn't work out. And then I regretted selling my house. But anyway, I was able to buy another one and got it built from the ground up. But I also have money in the bank, you know what I mean? So sometimes even that's because I save, So there's a times where I would grind, and that's another thing with barbers, man. Stop turning away clients. So if it's like I got some dudes be like they out of the shop at 6 or 7 o'clock. When you grinding, you trying to like build. There's a season where you got to put your time in. There's times where a lot of people see me now, they don't understand the time that I put into this. Like I would get off at 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, like and be there like literally had started at 8 in the morning. You know what I mean? Got a couple of hours of sleep and go right back at it. But I'm working, I'm making that bread and I'm putting it away. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a season of grinding so you can reap later. You know what I mean? And stop buying clothes, stop going out, spending on drinks and smoke or whatever you're doing, spend it on chicks, live girls. It's expensive dating. So so a lot of times we blowing our money on stuff and you got nothing to show for it. We working, we ain't got nothing to show for it. You know what I mean? So it's about using wisdom, man, and it's restructuring some things and saving. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much you make, whatever you get, put something away because a lot of us, man, we are already millionaires. We're already able to have a lot, but we're not good stewards of what we already have, man.
Yeah, that's good. I just went completely full time June the 1st in my business. Over the last 10 years, I've always just kind of did it on the side and made the decision. I was in full time ministry the last 4 years and decided that I was, had to choose. either the business suffers or I keep, doing the church thing. And, I just felt God pushing me towards, growing the business, because that too was ministry. Because it inspired other people to, do the things that they truly dreamed of doing themselves. But the reason why I could do that was because I'm not completely out of debt, but I kept my living expenses very low. I still live in the same townhouse I bought when I was 26. And the market in Nashville has tremendously, quadrupled to where, I'm paying a $650 mortgage, where the people who are living next door to me or renting in my neighborhood are paying $1,400. Right. And so, keeping those living expenses to the place where you can handle it, and my thought process was this, if push came to shove, I could drive Uber to pay $650, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
But you're definitely right. Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else does now, so that you can live like no one else later, right? So.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Even with now, I took the whole most of the month of September off. And I take a month. I take a week off every month now, so I can just have a balanced life, because I work so much. But I'm tightening up on my spending a little more, because you get to the point where you got money, money in the bank, you got this, I got a Porsche, I got a Range Rover, and different stuff.
I was gonna say, man, you got a Range, you got a Porsche, you got a brand new house.
But the thing about it is, I just set it back. But I just sat back though, bro. Like the other day, man, and I was like, man, like, even though I can afford this stuff, but do I need it? I don't need two cars. I don't need no Porsche and a Range Rover. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm to the point now. It's not about flossing no more, and it's cool to have it, but I'm over it. I had the Porsche for 3 years now. So I'm thinking about downsizing a little bit and just on some, putting that money into something that's gonna bring me a return. Cars appreciate.
Getting you a Prius, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if I would get another car. I would just drive my truck. I love my truck.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So my thing was like, listen, I don't need two cars. It's only one me. I don't got no kid. I ain't got no girl right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my thing is like, what you do? Because I look at my Range. I drive the Range all the time, but my Porsche is sitting in my driveway, bro, like collecting dust. Like, I literally have to drive it sometimes, just because it'll just, when you let a car sit so long, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's like, I'm paying this money for this, the insurance and the car payment, but no, it's just sitting there. I don't know. To me, it's not wisdom. I got other business ventures that I want to do, other things, and that money could go into something else that's going to actually help somebody and bring a better return. And so that's just where I'm at, man. I need my house. I need my house now. Some people are like, yo, like, you got this big old house by yourself, but one day I will have a family again. So, I like my house, so I'm keeping that.
I got you. I'm of the mindset, one, the Range Rover is really one of my dream cars, but I always said I wanted two cars, but one had to be paid for. And the only reason why I say that is because, when I take my car to the shop, I got to figure out, well, how I'm going to get around the rest of the day. I hate sitting at the shop. I hate, so, it all just depends on, the perspective, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Definitely.
Yeah. Even if you paid for the car, right? My thing is like I said, cars, they appreciate so fast. And I'm the type, I'll be done with cars after 2-3 years. I'll be over it. I want something new.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it don't make sense for me, like, they just buy cars out just outright, you know what I mean? And it just, I like to switch up too much. So maybe that's my own problem, but
So one final question that I think, many people who happen to maybe be barbers or maybe be entrepreneurs who want to get into that whole celebrity industry, what are some tips that you could give those who are interested in working, and serving celebrities challenges and pain points as you do today?
All right. So let me honestly say this. And people may not want to hear this. Everybody be, a lot of barbers want to be a celebrity and all that stuff. All right, let me say this. All right. It's nice to rub elbows with people that you've seen on TV and you cut their hair and stuff like that. But it is not as lucrative as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It looks nice, but a lot of these guys, I mean, like, people do a house call. I mean, it's cool. Some guys it's cheap, and then some celebrities, they used to get people to do stuff for free and discount it for them. So, I mean, like, I've had some celebrities try to lowball me and be like, "Yo, I'm only gonna give you my house call fee starts at $125, $150, and you only trying to give me $75, $60 to come and shop what I'm doing." And that's another thing. It's like a lot of sitting around and wait. You gotta wait for people, and they have you at one time, and then you gotta wait for them, and all that stuff, whatever. And then so my whole day is thrown off because you had me come in the middle of my day, stop what I was doing, I had to move people around to come go cut your hair, and then it's just like it's just a lot sometimes. And it's not I just not all this crack with the beat. I'm not gonna say this is bad, and it's cool. I love being able to be in that position to cut different people's hair and meet people and to connect. But I just want a lot of guys to get out of the mindset of, I just want to be a celebrity barber. There's a lot of guys that forget that you be named as a celebrity barber, all right? Unless you're on this person's team and you're traveling with them. Even with that, I don't know how much money you're really gonna get, but you make more money at the shop. And I have barbers that I know personally that I have to tell that to, because you so busy chasing celebrities, but you're missing out on this shop money, which is more consistent. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're losing clients because, he gonna cancel my appointment because he gonna go cut this celebrity. So I'm not going with them. I'm not going with him because he's inconsistent and he's not reliable. You know what I'm saying? And so I never chased a celebrity. It was like, this is the thing. If it's for you to cut them, it'll happen. You brand yourself and you put yourself out there. Be good, and the right person your paths will cross. It's about who you know. It's about the people. Some people connect with different promoters in different cities at clubs and stuff like that. And then when a celebrity comes to that club, you cut that promoter hair free, or you get in good with that promoter. The celebrity, the celebrities that come to that club, they be like, "Oh, who's a barber?" And the promoter puts you on. There's different ways to do that if you want to. That's a little nugget. If you get in good with different people that have the connects, you know what I'm saying? That's an easy way to do it. But at the same time, I don't want people to get caught up on, I just want to be a celebrity barber. It's cool, but you can make a lot of money doing regular people that got money. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I talked about. That's what I said. Figure out what market where you want to market yourself, because if you get more business-minded people that have the bread and charge that premium, you better off. You know what I mean? But it's about knowing the right person, being at the right place at the right time, being reliable, being professional, and being on your stuff. Being a good barber. Like, if you can cut, of course, a celebrity's gonna let you cut their hair because they in your city and they need a haircut. So.
Yeah. Well, I know many of my listening audience may not necessarily be barbers, but some of the things that you shared today are definitely transcend different industries. As a digital marketer and a personal brand strategist, there are things that you talked about today that I definitely can begin to apply to my own business, especially when it comes to, my time and placing a value on my time. Because I was just talking to some individuals today, and I was like, I have, so many clients that I have to physically work with, and I know I'm trying to build more of a digital brand business, a digital business that allows me the opportunity to kind of, be location independent and time free. And if you want my time, if you want me to physically be in your presence, then you're going to have to pay that premium rate, and because I know that now, I know how I need to now kind of rebrand myself so that people understand that, if you want me, it's one price. But if you're doing an online course, or if you're doing something virtual, then it's it may be a different price. If you are a do-it-yourselfer versus done for you, it's a different price, But we got to, as entrepreneurs, really determine what that value is and how we're going to really kind of strategize our businesses so that it benefits us while at the same time serving the client.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. And I created my day rate kind of through that, in a sense of I create my day rate depending on like what is it that I make at the shop, or what would I normally make. And if somebody wants me to go and leave everything to come to them or do something like that, you have to match what I would be missing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I kind of like, you know what I mean? You know what you're worth and what you're gonna be missing if you pick up and go somewhere. I mean, but that's what barbering. But it's different ways to create
Right.
your pricing, how you gonna do things as well too. So
Yeah. Cool.
that's what's up, man. You got it, brother. You got it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get into everything that I wanted to, but I think this is a good podcast to be able to share with those who want to listen and learn a little bit more
Mhm.
about you and about the things that you shared today. And so before we leave, why don't you kind of share some words of encouragement, inspiration to those who just getting started, or those who maybe feel like they got stuck, and how they can kind of rejuvenate and kind of reinvigorate their efforts towards kind of really fulfilling their own personal goals.
Right. Well, if what I would say is, if you're in a rut, or if you're in a place where you feel like you kind of lost hope, or you're in a season where you just chilling and not really, first of all, man, just figure out what is it that you want to do. Like I said, making sure you're passionate about it, make sure it's a need for it, and also, man, work on just like knowing who you are. A lot of times we are fearful, and we kind of second guess ourselves and doubt ourselves because our confidence is not there, and we have this fear of failure and all that. And you got to really step out there. Sometimes you got to step out there. Once you figure out what is it that you want to do, step out there and just try it. You know what I mean? And just, I mean, listen. If you fail, you tried at least, and then there's things that maybe you could have did better. So the next time you do those things that that's going to get you to that place. You know what I mean? Keep trying till you get it. And honestly, I mean, I don't know if everybody's Christian and all that stuff, or whatever God you believe in, you pray, and you ask for direction and guidance, and what you're doing. And I believe the reason that I am where I am is not because I had a two-step plan. I had this big old plan. A lot of this is because of my faith. Is because of a relationship that I have with God, that has gotten me where I am. And I believe that I try to keep God first in whatever I do, man. And it's honestly, man, the favor of God, man, it's just awesome. Like there's things that I can think of and it'll come to pass, and things that have happened because I trust in God. And I wasn't always to that point. Life had to happen and kind of I had to redirect some things. But I'm grateful that's where I am now, and I am grateful for that. And you can have that same thing. That same favor, that same level. What I mean, like I said, keep God first. Be passionate, and write the plan out. Write out what you want to do. Write out everything, and you ask other people that may be in the line of work that you want to be in. Ask them what they did to get to their other successful people. Ask them what was it that they did to get to where they are, and you follow that same thing, man, and kind of reinvent it to fit what works for you as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes if the wheel ain't broke, don't try to reinvent it. You know what I mean? So it depends on what is it that you want to do, and figure that out, and stay focused. No distractions. A lot of us get distracted by people, what people say, by relationships, by a lot of things that don't matter. So stay focused. Stay focused, and you got it. All right.
Stay focused, and you got it. Well, Wade, I
I know,
appreciate
brother.
you joining me for the Marquis Break podcast. I thank you for taking time out of your vacation to share with the listening audience. And hey, I know people will get some great information from this. Appreciate it. What a great interview that was with Wade the Barber, Wade Menendez. I am so excited that you took the time out to listen to this interview, and hopefully you gleaned some great things, some great tips on how you can utilize social media, how you can utilize some of the principles in which Wade talked about. He's not just a barber. He's truly an entrepreneur who has learned how to innovate himself as a master barber, as someone who is sought after in the world to not only cut hair, but yet to teach people how to run a successful business. I am thankful each and every week that you join me to listen to the Markeith Brayton podcast, and I hope that you are really enjoying these conversations that I'm having with what I believe to be, or who I believe to be, influential entrepreneurs. And so I'm really leveraging this podcast as an opportunity to engage other entrepreneurs who are successful, who are doing great things in the world and in their business, and then allowing them to share their story with you on the Markeith Brayton podcast. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hey, take some action. Send me an email. Let me know how I can best serve you through this podcast. And if you're interested in any level of coaching, sign up to get a complimentary consultation with me for 30 minutes by going to my website, markeithbrayton.com, and clicking on the Contact Me tab. Also, leave me a rating and review of this episode. I do apologize for some of the audio quality issues, but the information was really good. Have a great rest of the week, and we will catch you back next week on the Markeith Brayton podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Markeith Brayton podcast at markeithbrayton.com. If you've not subscribed to the podcast via iTunes, subscribe today and be sure to leave Markeith a rating and review of today's episode. Just remember this: always shoot for the top, because it's the bottom that's overcrowded.